Is it necessary to marry in life? What is the physical relationship between man and woman? I don't know.
Hi.
Hey,
Hey.
this is Mitch. My name's Eli.
And we're learning.
Scratch
Yeah,
that,
dude.
scratch that, scratch that, scratch that. Since the beginning of Learn With Us episodes,
Yeah.
people have been telling us to check out this teacher, Jiddu Krishnamurti.
Very good.
Hey, was that it?
Very good. I think it might have been.
If we pronounce that wrong, let us know in the
But
comments.
if we pronounce it right, let us know.
Yeah.
Because that was
We need an
nice.
ego
We need
boost.
ego boost.
Interesting camera angle.
No. Is it necessary to marry in life? What is the physical relationship between man and woman? I don't know.
Dude, this guy
leads off hot.
This guy's a character.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right.
Wow,
Let's get
okay.
serious.
You ought to know. Huh? What a strange question this is, isn't it? Is it necessary to marry in life? What do you say? If the speaker puts this question to you, what will you answer? Is it necessary, sirs and ladies, that I should marry? What would be your answer? Your answer probably would be, do what you want to do. Why bother me with it? It's up to you.
It's up to you.
But you see, the question is really much more complex than that.
Oh, yeah.
We all want companionship. We all want sexual relationship.
Okay, I've had a lot of thoughts come and go and come and go and come and go. This is very good, because I like how he started with, well, what would you say
Yeah.
about me, and started by saying, well, I don't know, because this is like his version of saying what Ram Dass often says about, he's like, I say things, but you already know everything you need to know. You don't need anything from me. I think that's what all great spiritual teachers do, is they're like, you already have all the stuff in you. I'm just going to help you awaken it, but you don't even need me if you don't. Like, I can help you. I can be a tool for you, but you don't need me. You have everything you need.
And then Ram Dass says that's why when he says something, everyone in the audience goes, ah.
And they're like, yeah, why are you all nodding? Like, you already knew this?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like.
You wouldn't react that way unless you already did know that.
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah. Somewhere they know it.
A biological necessity. Or also we want somebody on whom we can rely, in whom we can find security, in whom there is a sense of comfort, support. Because most of us cannot stand alone on our own feet.
I've been realizing more and more this idea that comes with most of these spiritual teachers, or all of them, that you need, before you can understand any sort of union with everything and like connection to all things, you need to first become so much of an individual that you find complete control over yourself. It's like you need total responsibility over this before you can start seeing truth. Because before that, you were relying on all these different images for truth. and you're going to start having all these different conflicting things, and you're never going to see clearly because you're basing what you're seeing on everyone else.
Yes. And this is another bit of, I'm going to start talking more and more about paradoxes, because I feel like that is for me a key right now to spiritual path is learning how to accept paradoxes within yourself. And I always struggled with the paradox, which I didn't realize was a paradox. I thought it was a choose or choose of you need to be for self-growth and for spirituality. They're often talking about how you need to cultivate everything within yourself as if you aren't dependent, and you shouldn't be dependent. But then on the flip side, you're completely dependent on everything around you, and you need connection. It's like we're humans, we were put here for a reason, and a big part of that is to connect with each other in community. And like there's a reason why there's so many barriers to our awakening, because we're raised in this society that's so individualistic. But then on the other side, there's like these two things that were clashing for me for so long. But now I'm learning
like
to
living communal and living individual type.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, what path do you choose? Do you choose the path of fully depending on everyone, fully connecting with everyone,
and like giving everything?
Or do you fully go internal and completely work on yourself? And I don't need anyone, I don't need anything ever. But what I've found is, how can you hold them both in the same moment? Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Therefore we say, I must marry or have a friend, girl, whatever it is. I must have somebody with whom I can be at home. We are never at home with anybody, because we are living in our own thoughts, in our own problems, our own ambitions, and so on.
Okay. I have been hearing so many songs lately that are like, so many are just like, say, take me home or something.
One last night from Aurora.
But I'm telling you, it's been like tons and tons of songs lately. But this is in relation to an experience I've had recently, where I was walking back from like one of my deepest, I don't want to say deepest, just longest meditative experiences. And I started walking through water purposefully. And it was like kind of cold out, so it was just like a very intentional thing. And then this song just was like given to me. It was like, holy water, light my senses, take me home. And it just kept, and like, holy water, guide my spirit, take me home. That was like the template. And I kept repeating that and walking very slowly, deliberately. And then all of a sudden, I was about to say, take me home, and make me home came out. And I realized that it was the truth. And so it went from take me home, because home is a place outside of you, to make me home, where if you are home within yourself, then any place. That's the first time I've gotten a fall. That's pretty sick. But when you are the home, then anywhere you go, you're at home, because you're in the universe. Ram Dass says, if I'm not home in the universe, then I've got a real problem on my hands. So anywhere you go, you can be at home.
Two things off of that, just like fun things.
Yeah.
One, I know that Thich Nhat Hanh, like one of his biggest teachings is being at home in the world. I think that's like one of his most famous books.
Oh,
which
wow.
I feel like is that teaching.
That's incredible.
Second, my sister, shout out if you're watching this.
Yeah.
When she was younger, had this phase where she would just constantly say, I want to go home.
Whoa.
And it was freaky for me. Like, I would leave the room when she would start doing it, because I was like just spooked.
Wow.
But like, also my family grew up living in like two different countries,
Yeah.
and so there's like a lot of dynamics there. But it's just really interesting that what if at that point in her life she had teachers like this who were there to show her how to make home.
Because that's a thing crying out from yourself.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to go home.
Yeah.
You have this drive, but you don't have a place to put it. I know the feeling. Wow. Wow. Okay.
And we are frightened to stand alone. Because life is very lonely. Life is very, very complex, troublesome. And one needs somebody with whom you can talk things over. And also, when you marry, you have sexual relationships, children, and so on. So, in this relationship between man and woman, there is always, if there is no love, you use her and she uses you. You exploit her and she exploits you.
That's the thing. It's like, if you are dependent on someone in a certain way, it's beautiful. But if you're dependent on them in a different way, it can be super unhealthy, where you're just looking at this person as an image, as an object to be exploited, even though you don't think you are. And also, the way he's like rocking and speaking makes me feel like he is just channeling completely. He's just letting whatever wisdom's coming just flow right out of his mouth. And it's not like sitting up here, it's just coming from above.
Dang, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That's a fact. So, the questioner says, should one marry? And what is the physical relationship between man? Don't you question? It's up to you, sir. But to really enter into this whole complex problem of living together, not only with two people, living together with humanity, with your neighbor, with your boss, with your servant, if you have a servant, with your father, mother, children, to live together is a very complex thing. Living together as a family gives you certain security, certain safety. And so you extend that family to a group, to a community, to a state, to a nation, and from a nation which is opposed to another nation, and so there is always division and conflict and war. So one has to find out how to live with another without any conflict, without any sense of struggle, adaptation, adjustment. That requires a great deal of intelligence, integrity. But we just marry off because sexual, biological demands, and so on.
Wow. What that made me think of, first of all, that something hit me right in the middle of that. I don't know what it was. A lot of emotion all of a sudden. And where that brought me was, if you have a sense of disconnect or conflict on any level, that's just going to be magnified on the other levels. So if in your head you're accepting the idea that we are in separate nations as people, or I am not on the same land as you because you're in a different state, then maybe that's going to be reflected somehow in your one-to-one relationships with other people. And maybe in your one-to-one relationships, if you don't feel a connection, if you feel conflict, then that's just going to be magnified, where on a global scale, you're looking at everyone as conflict and as other.
Goes back to the idea of like microcosm, macrocosm.
Oh, yeah.
And how they just reflect each other. Yeah, I like that a lot. And then that I really like with this guy how he lays the challenge out. He just goes, find a way to live that you are not in conflict with anything.
Yeah.
It's like that. Think about how many humans have been on Earth and not figured that out.
And also, he's not under the illusion that he can tell you how to get there. That's what we noticed with the last video with him. He does not give you all the pieces. He says, go find what the pieces are and you'll know it when you're there. You know, it's like he just shoos you out. You know, that's like, I love that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he does. That's what he does in his videos. You walk in, you're like, please help me. Or you don't even know you need help. And he just shoos you out. He go, get out of here. Yeah. Go on a little journey. Go on a little journey and you'll figure it out. And that's what it is. That's what it is. No spiritual teacher that I've ever come across that's like, whenever I'm under the illusion that they're the one that's going to tell me everything I need to know, I never learn anything. But whenever I am shooed away or opened up to a new thing that I can now go experience, I go experience it, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what they were talking about. And, you know, it just opens you up to the experience, but it can't give you it.
It's not even like, because a lot of times you would think of a spiritual teacher as like the key to unlock the thing. But it's almost as if they reveal the lock.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Ram Dass says the first thing that you need to do is to recognize that you're in prison.
Hey.
Maybe you're inside the lockbox and you realize that is incredible. That's great.
I love it. I just love it.
That's it.
I love it.
That's nothing
That's
more
all.
needs to be said.
What do you guys think?
Let's go do the living thing. We all just got shooed out.
Yeah.
And so let's go on a little journey now. And I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
And you'll get back to us. And much love.
Much love. Wow.
Yeah, dude. I'm so stoked that we came to this guy at the right time.
Yeah.